question, please.
I certainly think we will win because I think the facts and the law is on the side of Indian country. We don't always win in this courtroom, but I feel that we will win based on the stellar job the legal team did today and in the days and months leading up to this case. However, Indian country, tribal leaders, tribal citizens are always wise to be vigilant because the government of the United States historically has taken away, has terminated, has dispossessed. We are only now in a modern era in which it's relatively better, which we have relatively better federal Indian policy. So even when we win this case, and I believe we will win this case, we've got to stay vigilant. We've got to be on guard for other losses. We've got to be on guard for erosion in the Congress of the United States. But I feel optimistic today based on the job that was done in the courtroom.
Joined by legal experts, including Christy Ross-Nemo from the Cherokee Nation, Professor Kate Fort from Michigan State University, and Kimberly Clough. With that, could I ask if folks could please raise their hands if they have a
If ICWA is overturned using the arguments that the enemies of ICWA have thrown out there today, it could have consequences for a range of laws, a range of federal Indian policy, the very underpinnings of the idea that we're sovereign Indian nations. We ought to be treated as such, that citizens of our nations are citizens of sovereign nations, and they ought to be treated as such. That will be eroded if the United States Supreme Court buys into this phony argument that there's some equal protection defect with the Indian Child Welfare Act. But again, they'd have to ignore the law, they'd have to ignore the facts. But if it is struck down, we will be marching across the street and insist that it be repaired. And we're patient people, but we're persistent people, and they better rest assured that we will not slow down.
Good afternoon, friends and relatives.
We will not go back to a time when our children were stolen and taken away from their homes. We will not go back to a time when we lost our voice and our power to protect our families. We do want to protect our families, don't we, folks? Yes. We will not go back to the days of intolerance and policies of assimilation and that sought to sweep away our people and our culture. Where we fight to keep that alive, the dream. We will continue to fight for our future. We will continue in the halls of Congress. We will fight our ways through the courtrooms. We will fight to bring supportive services to our families. And we will see that our children remain close to home.
Water with truth out. What do you think the likelihood is?
This case is a direct attack on tribal sovereignty because they're raising equal protection arguments, claiming that tribal nations should be treated as just another race. They do not understand that we are a political entity, that we have a long history with the United States, that we have treaties, that we are separate and distinct. And they also fail to recognize that the long history, legislative history of ICWA speaks directly to that issue. So this is a direct attack on sovereignty. If they rule that we are not political but we are racial, that just wipes out 200 years of precedent here, as well as the work of Congress.
Again, I know that this went on for a long time, so if there are follow-up questions, please feel free to grab me and we can make sure to get you. Thank you.